The Accra region continue to face a worsening water crisis as access to safe drinking water remains limited. I am Kemeni Amano with News Central. The details right now. Now, the Forestry Commission Board has formally petitioned President Mahama to revoke Executive Instrument 144 that stripped the Achimota forests of its protected status and paved the way for portions of Accra's remaining forests to be opened up for private development. The petition, submitted in January this year through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, marks the first time the Forestry Commission Board has taken a unified institutional stand against the controversial instrument which was executed in 2021 under the previous administration.
2021, and EI was executed to de-reserve a portion of the Achimota forest. It is still in force, but the Forestry Commission has indicated its displeasure with the EI and has petitioned, the Forestry Commission Board has petitioned the President through the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources for the revocation of the EI. The good thing is that even though it is still in force, no portion, no inch of Achimota Forest Reserve has been lost yet. And we are hoping that we will get a good response to our petition. Over the past years, we have done what we call enrichment planting, in improving the tree stock in some portions of the reserve. But because of the EI that came into place and the uncertainty surrounding some portions, we are waiting to be sure that if we invested in planting trees or rehabilitating those areas, it will not be in vain. Because why invest your hard-earned funds in an area that's going to be cleared for construction or buildings? So we are still waiting, and we are hopeful that we will get a positive response to our petition. It was submitted in January this year, and that was a board decision, a Forestry Commission board decision. Earlier on, the Forest Services Division, which is one of the divisions of the Forestry Commission, had petitioned the board. I think about a year or two ago, about 2 years ago. But this was the first time that the board actually adopted that petition and has petitioned on behalf of the whole commission to the President through the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources.
Let's have a quick chat on the back of this. Awula Sewa is the coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizen, joining us for this story. Awula, talk to us. How important is it for the presidency, the president that is, to respond as soon as possible to this?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I think it's vital. The Forestry Commission, which is mandated to protect our forests, has spoken. And as you know, civil society organizations have also spoken that there doesn't seem to be much of a rationale in declassifying parts of Achimota forest. As you know, right now we are in danger of losing a lot of our forests. A lot of them have been decimated by irresponsible mining. And there's a reason why Achimota Forest was made a reserve in 1926, I believe. And that reason hasn't gone away. In fact, we need more forests. So the good thing is that unlike LI 2462, which needed to go to Parliament, EI 144 is an executive instrument. So the President can today decide to revoke it and go ahead and revoke it. It's not in the interest of Ghana. And we are confident that the President will do the right thing and revoke EI 144.
And we're hoping that will be done as soon as possible. At the same time, we know of some tree planting exercises going on. When we put the two side by side, it would appear, we're doing two opposite things at the same time. The result of that will be null and void, won't it?
Well, it seems sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back. I really don't know. It's great that we're doing tree planting, But one would say that you already have a forest reserve. Why would you want to declassify parts of it when, at a time when a lot of our forests have been decimated? We look at Atiwa Forest Reserve. That's another crucial forest. 3 rivers take their source from Atiwa Forest Reserve. And as at now, we are still asking for Atiwa Forest Reserve to be declared a national park so that there's no mining of bauxite or anything on that forest reserve, which has endangered species and where 3 rivers take their source. You see, we say one thing, but in practice, we're doing something else. So as tomorrow is World Forest Day, International Day of Forest, we think it's a good time to revoke EI 144 and to also declare Atiwa Forest Reserve a national park so that we know that it's to preserve the forest in its entirety and no mining whatsoever should take place there. And when it comes to Achimota Forest, no construction. It should be kept as a green dome. We shouldn't be taking 1 step forward and then 2 steps back.
Let's take the opportunity to check the pulse of the nation on its fight against illegal mining. We know that this government has launched a variation of the community mining program. We know they are registering small and formalizing small-scale miners as well. You have said that this new model is not the solution to the problem we face. Talk to us about that.
You see, it's not about new models. You know, you can call something community mining, as in the past administration. You can call it cooperative mining. Call it what you want to call it. The important thing is that what is actually taking place. You see, mining is a very, very expensive business. That's why the illegal miners, dig somewhere, there's no gold there, dig somewhere else and proceed. Now, even if you decide that, look, we're going to support them, we're going to give them some of the tools they need, you need to be there to ensure that the right thing is being done. It's not because you have put them under an umbrella, called it cooperative mining, and then by magic, everything is going to go well. If there's not going to be compliance, you're not going to ensure that there's compliance with the rules and regulations, we're going to have the same situation as we've had with community mining. So we are saying, take a step backwards, pause, look at the small-scale mining companies we already have in place. Have you been to check all of them to ensure that they are mining where they are supposed to be mining? They have met all the conditions they are supposed to meet, or do we just issue licenses and then go to sleep? My belief right now, and it's not just my belief, what a lot of civil society organizations realize is that we don't have the capacity to be monitoring and to ensure that the right thing is being done. So we issue licenses like confetti, and then the companies do as they please. Some may do the right thing, some might not do the right thing, but we're not there to check. And so what we are saying is that take a step pause and ask yourself, what is the best interest of Ghana? Just to be issuing licenses, call it cooperative mining, say that we've done this, we've done that, when you know that you do not have the capacity to monitor.
Is it not important we know who are mining in the small-scale industry, in the community, at the community level? Is it not better we know and formalize their operation so that we can correct their wrongs?
You see, of course, it is good to know who is there, but the point being made is that that is not the end of it. For example, we had Akonta Mining, using it as an example. Did we not know that Akonta Mining was there? When Akonta Mining was allegedly breaching the terms of their contract, what was done about it? What was done about it? Isn't it now that a case is in court? So the point we are making is that yes, we know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are involved in small-scale mining. How does that help us if we are not going to make sure that they do the right thing and then we have the capacity to be monitoring and ensuring compliance?
Well,
what is the purpose? We do not know. So what we are saying is that call it what you like. Call it community mining, call it cooperative mining, call it whatever you want to. The important thing is that whoever is engaged in mining, are we able to ensure that they are doing the right thing? Or are they going to be poisoning our waters and decimating our forest reserves? If you give somebody a driving license, yes, we know that we're giving that driving license to A, but we don't monitor. The person is going through red light. The person is driving whilst intoxicated. The person is driving on, but you say you've given them a license and therefore that is it. No, Giving them a license is only one step. You have to ensure that you have the means to ensure that there's compliance.
Very well, Aula. That's all the time we have for this story, but I appreciate your time with us. Aula Sewa
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. She's coordinator for eco-conscious citizens. I want to take you to Nugo, where residents there continue to face a worsening water crisis as access to safe drinking water remains limited. A local lagoon, once considered a temporary alternative, has now become the primary source of water for many households. Despite concerns about contamination and health risks, residents, especially those unable to afford treated or sachet water, depend heavily on the lagoon for daily use, including for drinking and cooking purposes. Now, community members say the high cost of potable water has left them with very few options. Our George Queenan has been in the communities joining us with a bit more on this story. George, I can see from your frame that I'm seeing the gallons, I'm seeing the storage tanks. Explain to us how dire the situation is in Nugo.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and we are coming to you live from Nugo. And if I had not come here, I would not believe most of the things that are being said on social media. When you come here, it's more like the most expensive commodity here in this very community. You can call it the yellow gallon community, and you'll be powerful, right? Every house has more than 20 or 10 of them. So here, it's been a long time that water actually has run through their pipes. So the alternative sources here are not the best. There's a lagoon somewhere closer to me, and you can see frogs and all those tadpoles inside, but that's what they drink and then use for cooking. And water here, I know a gallon is sold for 5 cedis, and there's another white gallon which is going for 140 cedis. I mean, if you're buying water 100 cedis daily, how much would you even, use for food? So it's not really, it's an efficient community. They don't have that much money to be doing all these things. It's a serious issue here, and they've actually confided in me. If government really intervenes in this, it will help them. People are actually, managing their, bathroom routines. One guy says, for the past 3 days, he has not taken his bath. Please tell me your life on TV. And I thought it was a joke, but it's what it is. It's not bad for how many days?
Almost 6 days. No.
It's true, but you're not smelling, no.
No.
Well, use perfume.
Yeah, for sure. I've been using spray.
But it's still not, though.
Yeah, but for the water crisis, this is not the first time. Like, be the first time. That was outside, if I could recall, 2022, like 2026, like when the first fever, they come, that be when the
water will come.
Yeah. No, the water, no, they come.
Okay.
Although the water, they flow, like, as that New Year season come. But once we go there, more inside, no, the water, no, they come. We sick of that. When I grannies, them a farm, they know if you go farm. Because of the water, you understand, pepper, no, they grow. Like, things make hard. So,
we need the purification.
So, like, we beg the government, the people for the talk, let them find solutions.
So, residents have, actually lined up their, containers, hoping that one day the water will come. So once it comes, they'll just get some too. But apart from that, if they don't get potable water, the alternatives are not the best. The lagoon, and it's not a good source of drinking water. Let me talk to this very lady. That's Mary, right?
Yes.
Mary, also, who do pure water in the jar? How do you use it? Pure water, 30.
That's why I'm permitted to
back near 30.
The one 30.
Now, we use 30 now.
We use 15.
Like 15.
The 15. 15 be jari, my jari mama bano. It's the 15 now, and you bring them jari piano.
That 15 rubber, no do me for.
Rubber no. Obi wa me area mo ti stand.
Oh, it's rubber, yeah.
Yeah, na media man. Ebi wa me back at 2 days, I'm man here. Enu enyu me dia no go.
Woman is called woman is called.
Oh, mama, me man is she. So no so osisana wa. Yeah, na media channel.
Yeah.
A woman na media channel. It's at times or three better man dey na me ka say oh, enye bi she. Yeah, in so any ho. Into say rubber say me dispose am me di chew. E na o kan you.
Don't worry.
Very well,
And I mean
George.
You serious?
George, clearly there is a dire situation of water shortage in the community. But what are local authorities saying about a solution?
Yeah. So, I actually, on my way coming here, I tried reaching some George and then it was not fruitful. But I've actually contacted the DC and is ready to talk to me. So right from here, that's where we're going. But I know Sam George actually posted something on Facebook 4 days ago and says they'll find some sort of lasting solution to this perennial challenge. So obviously, it's something that is, I'm sure, is of great concern to him. So hopefully, some sort of respite will come to the community, to this very community.
Wendy here, thank you very much for the report. And George Queenie joined us from Nugo, a community that needs urgent access to potable water. Away from that, the former Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, has issued a scathing rebuttal to claims made by President Mahama and the current Minister for Communications, Sam George, regarding the status of Ghana's SIM registration database. In a statement titled Rebuttal Statement on SIM Registration Falsehoods, the former MP for Ablekuma West sought to set the record straight, asserting that the foundations for a credible SIM registry have been firmly established already. She challenged the narrative that the previous exercise was ineffective, stating categorically that the 2022-2023 exercise was a structured and legally compliant process tied to the Ghana card. Contrary to suggestions by the current administration that the existing data is flawed or filled with viruses, Owusu-Ekufo pointed to the results of a 2025 audit as proof of the system's integrity. For more on that story in later broadcasts. Right now, however, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, has announced plans to engage authorities in Burkina Faso over the country's decision to suspend the export of fresh tomatoes, a move expected to impact tomato supply on the Ghanaian market. In a statement issued on Friday, March 20th, the Minister for Trade said the engagement with the Burkinabe counterparts will seek to address concerns surrounding the ban and chart a mutually beneficial way forward for both countries. The government reiterated its commitment to working with stakeholders to boost local tomato production under the Feed Ghana and Feed the Industry programs aimed at increasing output to meet demand on our local market. Now, the ministry also appealed to tomato traders to remain calm as discussions progress, expressing optimism that an amicable resolution will be reached to restore normal trade between the two countries. Well, a bit more on trading activities. The Ghana Union of Traders Association is raising serious concerns over delays by the government in rationalizing duties at the country's ports. Now, Gutu says, despite signs of economic stability, duties paid at the ports remain high, placing a significant burden on traders and importers. Addressing the minority caucus, Gutu President Clement Boateng argued that port duties should have been reviewed and rationalized before the deployment of artificial intelligence systems at the ports, which he says has led to a surge in charges.
Duty rationalization. You promise of duty rationalization. And so if you haven't rationalized the duty, because we think the duties that we are paying is still on the higher side, despite the fact that there has been stability of the CD, and it has a bearing on the duties that we pay, because we all know that they use the dollar in calculating the duties at the port, but it's being paid, it's being converted in CDs for us to pay. So irrespective of the fact that there has been stability, and so therefore frequent changes of the rate at every week at the port, there has been some stability in it. We still think the duties that we are paying is still on the higher side, and so therefore if you want to deploy anything to get the actual data, to check misclassification and to check under invoicing and make sure you get the desired revenue, you must also rationalize the duties and let us also have the true value of the duties that we are paying before you come in with this AI. But rationalization hasn't been done, and then this AI is being introduced. And the reports that I'm receiving from our members is that they are now paying a very huge duties since twice of what they used to pay, because values of the duties have been increased. Yes, assuming first maybe they were paying $2 as the value for this mobile phone. Since the deployment of the AI, they are now paying $4 as value of the item. So since the deployment, duties have gone up, and my members are really complaining about that.
Now, Minority Leader Alexander Penyumakin has urged the Ghana Union of Traders Association of the NPP's commitment to improving its performance if given another opportunity to govern this country. He noted that the party has reflected on its time in office and is determined to implement better policies to address the concerns of businesses and the broader Ghanaian public.
Government before. Governance does not mean you should just obstruct them, but be constructive and engage and prove to the people that you are an alternative government. You are ready when given the chance to make it better. So it's a reason why on the instructions of our flag bearer, we are here. So don't be worried at all. Of course, we made mistakes, but if you look at even the concerns that were raised by VIP and Mr. President on the assurances by the President that you would be giving some capital support. You realize that it was around that time, 2022, that the financial crisis hit us so bad. And the countries have had to go for a bailout. This issue about DDP, sometimes they can make a political statement, sweeping statement, and say that we mismanaged the economy. I'm not here to say that we didn't make mistakes. That would be too much on the roof. No. Obviously, in any government setup, there will be some mistakes. But largely, look at the way the economy was going, 17, 18, 19, then COVID struck. Now, nobody has asked this important question. That whole period, for almost 2 years, that businesses ceased, that trade had to stop, that government had to feed the poor. Government had to pay public sector workers. Government had to still put in place the institutional pillars to sustain the economy. Free SHS did not come to an end because of COVID. Student fees had to be paid. Students had to be fed in school. All the various policies that had been implemented prior to COVID had to still be implemented. So we did not lose our guards. However, the post-COVID, the challenges became obvious. At least we kept the lights on. So much as we concede on some of the challenges, that of course has reduced us to a mighty minority. We believe that having taken a cue, we can bounce back, and we are very optimistic. So it is true that some mistakes in the past, but don't give up hope on us. We will do the do for you. We will not just be talking. And let's continue the engagement, have a framework to be meeting regularly, and test us. I'm sure you will not regret.
Outside the capital city, the Ashanti North Regional Police Command has arrested 12 members of a notorious highway robbery syndicate believed to be behind a string of violent robberies across parts of the region and, in fact, in other regions. Here's a report by Benjamin Bedu.
Briefing the media on Thursday at Asante Mampong, the regional commander, ACP Felix Zapedo, said the arrest followed sustained intelligence-led investigation gathering and surveillance conducted over a period of about 2 months. During the operation, the police retrieved 3 locally manufactured shotguns, 1 locally made pistol, 9 live BB cartridges, and 4 cutlasses. Other seized items included 1 sword, 2 knives, 41 mobile phones, 7 mobile phone covers, and 1 fertilizer bag used to conceal the weapons. He called on the public to support the police with credible information to arrest armed robbers in the area.
The suspects further admitted their involvement in other robberies incidents at Mampong-Ejura stretch of road about 2 months ago, Offensu Kokoti about 3 months ago, Wenchi during the 2025 Salah festivities. Buku Sunyani Road about 3 months ago. Bupi Northern Region about 3 months ago. Now and they even stole cows. Obuasi about 2 months ago, where one suspect was killed during the shootout with the police. On the 16th March 2026, all the 12 suspects were arraigned before a Fijasi Magistrate Court and were remanded into police custody to reappear on the 14th April 2026.
ACP Felix Apedo said efforts are underway to arrest 2 other accomplices who are currently at large.
You're watching News Central here on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano. We'll return shortly with more news. Don't go away.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for that beautiful, elegant look. Flamingo paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform almost easily with just one coat.
Impressive. For me, as a professional painter,
lives of Muslims by promoting self-discipline, honesty and compassion.
Ramadan is not only a period of abstaining from food and drink, but a sacred time for nurturing consciousness of Allah, strengthening self-discipline, and refining moral character. This is a spiritual journey that encourages us to abstain from dishonesty, injustice, social vices such as gossip.
Touching on global concerns, she urged citizens to remain mindful of the challenges facing the world and to commit to praying for peace and fostering mutual understanding.
Let us remember the urgent challenges facing our world. These issues call for a renewed global effort to pray for peace, stability, and prosperity. In times of both ease and hardship, it is mutual respect and understanding that will carry us forward.
She further pointed to the coincidence of Ramadan with other significant observances this year as a reminder of shared values such as sacrifice, faith and peaceful coexistence, and called on Ghanaians to use the occasion to promote unity and peace. Former Minister for Finance Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, on behalf of the NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, wished Muslims well in the celebrations.
His Excellency, former Vice President, has asked me to appeal to you Muslims to pray for our country. The world is faced with uncertainties today. The conflict in Middle East is affecting everybody. Fuel prices, fertilizer prices, food prices, and the general cost of living are increasing all over the world. And therefore, on this occasion, we have a duty to pray for Allah to bring peace to the world. Former Vice President has also asked me to call on all Ghanaians to close our ranks in support of our aspirations as a country.
Hundreds of Muslims of the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jamal gathered to pray and reflect. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Accra.
In the Volta region, thousands of Muslims gathered this morning to observe Eid prayers to mark the end of the 2026 Ramadan. As the long day of celebration begins, Islamic leaders in the regional capital Ho are calling for modesty, peace, unity, and respect for the laws of the country. Let's connect now with Faisal Abdul Idrisu, who himself had iftar yesterday. Faisal, Eid Mubarak to you, first of all.
I continue to pray that this country prosper.
Well, it would appear Faisal did not hear me, but Faisal, if you are there, I'm saying Eid Mubarak.
Thank you. May the country Ghana prosper. And once the country prospers, we all prosper.
Absolutely. I hope you had a very hearty iftar yesterday. But let's look at the community at large in the Volta region celebrating Eid today. What has been the core of the messages from the leaders?
Yeah, it's been a month-long period of deep reflection, renewal of faith and abstinence, not only from food, but also from everything that is considered immoral as far as Islam is concerned. This morning at the police depot, where a large number of the Muslim community gathered to observe the Eid prayers, the Imam, Al-Haji Ali.
Oh, seems we lost Eid again. Let's take a listen to Al-Haji Muniru Ali and Al-Haji Alpha Anas Hamidu, clerics in the Muslim community.
Allah give us peace, unity, and tranquility. Our message to the authorities, we beg them. The Central Mosque was closed. We were told it will be closed for 2 weeks. Now we are in 3 months. All the Ramadan, we pray in rainfall, sunshine, and stones.
We undertook this activity for 29, some people 30 days. After the end of the fasting, the fasting must reflect in the rest of your life. During the fasting, whatever Allah prevents, after the fasting, the same is also prevented. So, I mean, we must inculcate all that we learn during the fasting so that we must reflect in our life. We are advising the youth, especially the Muslim youth. Today is a day of celebration. It's not a day that it should be lawlessness.
Well, I'm afraid we'd have to end the conversation with Faisal Ash this time, but we'll head to the Bono East region, where Belinda Tete is at this time, also monitoring aid in the Jako Senior High School in Techiman. Belinda, what can you report from there?
The atmosphere is full of celebration, merrymaking, and currently, in the morning, I was at the Jako Senior High School to monitor the prayers, and the proceedings went well. Women were clad in their beautiful abayas, their beautiful attires, and men were also clad so gently in their kaftans and their words. And they observed the Eid peacefully, and all of them went back to their homes. And of course, as you know, the rest of the day will be filled with merrymaking and almsgiving, as directed by the Holy Quran. So right after this report, I'm actually going to look for a corner where I can sit and also get some salah rice to eat.
Belinda, why are you so emphatic on the food? Why is the food so interesting?
It is the Eid season, and we know that this season is full of almsgiving, and so of course.
Well, so you're taking yours.
Also going to give me, and if you might know, yes, I'm taking my salad today, my salad food today. And if you may know, today, for the sake of the season, my name is Nafi Sachi. So please address me attached.
I can appreciate that. But let's talk about the clerics who have been speaking today. It's been a message of peace and discipline. What have they been saying in the Bono East region?
Right, so the Sheikh who led the prayers today, Sheikh Suleiman, he urged international leaders to fight for peace amidst the growing tensions in other countries. According to him, the tensions is affecting other countries such as Ghana. That is not directly linked to these tensions. It is affecting our economy and affecting our livelihood as well. So he's urging them to come to a common ground and agree where we can all have peace in other countries as well. Let's listen to Sheikh Suleiman.
And we also thank him for the peace that we are enjoying in this country. If you see what is happening in the world, you see that we are lucky to be in this part of the world. But we are also appealing to leaders of all nations to get inside these people, both United States and Israel and Iran. They should beg them to stop what they are doing, because I don't think there is a winner in any war. No war have a winner. If you win and you lose so many people, it means you didn't win, because you will see them again.
Well, last we'll have it. Nafisa to Belinda Tete, thank you very much for talking to us. Belinda Tete is our Bono East region correspondent. We'll stay on some more aid stories because the Deputy District Director for the Al Sunna Muslim community in the Western region, Ilyas Seidu, has urged the Muslim community to maintain a peaceful environment in their neighborhoods. Meanwhile, Western Region Minister Joseph Nelson also addressed the Muslim community in Takoradi.
Ghana, my yene ensamrane enone asomudwe my Ghana. Nia efe ananse dewumo enese ewiase afane nyinara obiye dia danse se yewo asomudwe mo. Tinia beya meno emieno ebebo sa asomudwe eno eho eban.
Bibia da mafasine mu. Oya akwankyere. Oya aza oya won kakaya. Da mabosuma kuri nyina no. we tum we jina do no wada ye fast no me jimi de fast na ewie yi ye ba madam nze pa no so akoda wa tena ye mu na wa cheche Sunday si ye ne dama ye bokoda ya tena regini ma asumdwe ma boni biamba ye wie ya ye kwane ya ko celebrate ye be srede woma ye nya broyin be kada ye nya in moderation ye ji enwa na ye nya no kwado a onko fa problem bi amfa nya den onfamba.
Well, today revelers are being admonished to maintain discipline at their places of enjoyment, especially motorists who frequently disregard traffic regulations. Speaking to TV3 after Muslim prayers at Medina, the municipal chief executive for the Lankwantana Medina Municipal Assembly cautioned the youth against allowing themselves to be used to foment trouble in society. He also called on the general public to cultivate the habit of giving as it is taught in the Quran.
The month of reflection. This is the day of forgiving. This is the day of rebounding among ourselves. So let's come together. Let's have merrymaking. Let's forgive each other, and let's ignore the kind of vandalism, the bahat. All those things are not part of Islam. People should not use you as a youth of Islam to misbehave. You remember what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said: "Ash-shabab," meaning the youth are the custodians of each and every nation. Therefore, if you are the youth, by the qualification of UNDP, it means you also have to put yourself together. Make sure that whatever deal you purely as Islam or as Muslim person, you also ascribe to that aspirations.
Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim viewers and audiences here at Media General. It's News Central. I'll be right back with more news. Don't go away.
The Talented Kids competition is getting more exciting with 12 contestants.
to be efficient or stand dissolved. He said government in 2025 alone had to recapitalize 3 banks amounting to over 2 billion cedis, and such losses would not be tolerated moving forward. The Deputy Minister spoke during the 2026 State Interest and Governance Authority Annual Conference here in Accra.
In the financial sector, government has had to recapitalize NIB, CBG, and ADB with over 2 billion Ghana cedis in 2025. We are also seeking to convert approximately 5.8 billion Ghana cedis of COCOBOL's legacy debt into equity. These are not just sector challenges, they are fiscal risks, they are growth constraints. This is the scale of the fiscal risks posed by the SOE sector. Every inefficiency in an SOE is a tax on the Ghanaian people. Support from the state must be matched by responsibility to the state. Going forward, our message is simple: deliver or be dissolved.
Now, a leading African Aid for Trade organization is warning that the full benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area may not be realized unless women and young entrepreneurs are fully integrated into the trading ecosystem. The agreement aims to create a single market to boost trade, investment, and economic integration across the continent.
The organization says while the AfCFTA presents a historic opportunity to transform Africa's trade landscape, the exclusion of key groups could limit its overall impact. It notes that empowering women and young people to actively participate in cross-border trade is critical to achieving inclusive economic growth under the agreement. Speaking at a multi-stakeholder engagement organized by the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Director for the West Africa and AfCFTA at Trademark Africa, Hiret Gayi, said the forum provides a platform for stakeholders to identify practical solutions to accelerate women's economic empowerment across the continent.
We foresee that while the African Continental Free Trade Area presents an opportunity to reshape Africa's trade landscape, if women and young entrepreneurs are not fully integrated into the trading environment, the promise of AfCFTA will remain a dream. Today's multi-stakeholder engagement is serving as the platform we need to identify practical solutions to accelerate women's economic empowerment.
First Vice President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Emilia Isiakwa, also stressed the need to better equip women to enable them contribute fully to the country's economic growth.
Empowering women economically is not simply about fairness. It is about unlocking the full productive potential of our economy. When women are empowered, businesses grow, families prosper, and communities become resilient. As the chamber representing the private sector, GNCCI remains committed to championing policies and programs that support women-owned enterprises and promote inclusive economic development.
Now, producer price inflation in Ghana eased slightly in February 2026, signaling slower growth in ex-factory prices, even as cost pressures persisted in key sectors like mining. According to data from the Ghana Statistical Service, the year-on-year producer price inflation for all goods and services stood at 1.4% in February of this year. This means that on average, the prices producers received for goods and services increased by 1.4% compared to the same period last year.
The figure represents a slight decline of 0.2 percentage points from the January 2026 rate, indicating a modest easing in producer price pressures. The mining and quarrying sector, which carries the largest weight in the index at 43.7%, recorded an increase in inflation from 3.7% in January to 4.1% in February. In contrast, the manufacturing sector, accounting for 35% of the index, saw deeper deflation. Inflation dropped further from negative 2.3% in January to negative 2.9% in February. Similarly, prices in the transport and storage subsector continued to decline, falling from negative 6.9% to negative 8.6% over the same period. The Ghana Statistical Service is advising consumers to shift spending towards goods and services with more stable prices to protect their purchasing power. Meanwhile, government has been urged to closely monitor price trends to prevent a potential rebound in inflation.
Well, that'll be all for this holiday edition of News Central. We're back on Monday with another edition. I'm Kamini Amana. I will see you at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Bye-bye for now.
Of the breathtaking vistas, hidden waterfalls, and the resilient spirit of the communities who call it Slopes home.